More details on the WrestleMania situation involving The Rock, Roman Reigns, and Cody Rhodes. Details on when Cody Rhodes possibly found out that indeed it was going to be The Rock facing Roman Reigns at WrestleMania and not the American Nightmare. Also, there are now reports suggesting not only was The Rock pushing to face Roman Reigns in the main event of WrestleMania 40 this year in Philadelphia, but in addition to that, the Great One is reportedly pitching that he should win the match. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there are plenty of news stories to get into in the world of professional wrestling. And let's continue talking about the ongoing situation that seemingly has led to a situation whereby it's going to be The Rock facing off against Roman Reigns in the main event of WrestleMania 40 at the Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And Cody Rhodes, despite for years saying he was going to finish his story, and despite winning the Royal Rumble for the second consecutive year, he is going to challenge for Seth Rollins' World Heavyweight Championship. Let's get into it because the latest details come from a quite bombshell report from Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select. And in one of the most controversial moves in wrestling booking history, The Rock is poised to face Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 40 instead of the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes. Now, Fightful say they will preface this story by stating that nothing has been officially announced, and as is always the case in professional wrestling, plans can change, just as they have over the last 7 days when it comes to WWE and WrestleMania 40. There are many in the company that are reportedly cautiously optimistic that if the reaction that WWE received Friday night doesn't change, maybe a pivot could be in order for the company when it pertains to WrestleMania in Philadelphia. Now, as of now, according to Sean Ross Sapp of Fightful Select, the plan for WrestleMania is The Rock versus Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins. Now, sources in creative confirmed to Fightful that as of recently, the working plan was Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns and CM Punk versus Seth Rollins. Punk's title shot was to be set up at the Elimination Chamber Premium Live event in Perth, Australia. Brock Lesnar versus Dominic Mysterio at Elimination Chamber, and Lesnar versus Gunther from WrestleMania was also cancelled from a creative standpoint. Of course, Lesnar and Punk were eliminated from creative moving forward for various different reasons. Now, while Cody Rhodes professed loudly at the Royal Rumble that he was coming after the Tribal Chief, there were some in the company that had claimed that they had heard that as of that afternoon, that being Saturday afternoon, that The Rock had already agreed to face off against Roman Reigns. Now, Fightful say they've also heard that there were Rock head-of-the-table WrestleMania-themed merchandise prototypes within the company by that weekend as well. So they are suggesting, certainly, that despite Cody Rhodes winning the Royal Rumble on Saturday, there were already plans to do Rock versus Reigns, and in fact, merchandise was already being created as of that weekend as well. Now, nobody that Fightful spoke to could make the order of operations really make any sense, but many were hopeful that WWE and TKO would see the reaction and pivot. Now, when it comes to some of the reactions inside the company, we'll get to that later on, but needless to say, it's not very positive. Now, those that Fightful have spoken to said that The Rock had not only pushed to work the match, some thought he was even pushing to win the match. Yes, let me repeat that once again. Those that Fightful have spoken to said not only had The Rock pushed to work the match against Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 40 this year in Philadelphia, some thought he was even pushing to defeat Roman Reigns. The same Roman Reigns that's not been defeated in singles competition since December 2019 against Baron Corbin, then King Corbin, at the Tables, Ladders and Chairs Premium Live event. Now, regardless of what the finish will be, multiple sources in WWE have said to Fightful that they viewed this as a political move that TKO believes will result in more immediate money than would have been with Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns. Sources within TKO swore this wasn't done out of malice towards Cody Rhodes and value him as a talent, but believe that those involved with the decision-making underestimated how the patience of the audience has worn thin on the situation. There have been some creative shakeups within WWE as of late, and sources on the creative team expect Rock's longtime business partner and friend and former WWE creative member Brian Gewirtz to factor in heavily to the Rock's creative plans moving forward. He's expected to be around from time physically as well. Fightful reached out to Gewirtz about his role, but were not immediately able to get a comment unless it was an interview approved by WWE. Now, TKO sources did say they valued Gewurtz's skill set and could see him in a key WWE role creatively if the right situation aligned between all parties. Now, regarding the timeline of events, Fightful have been told that Cody at least was informed as of Friday that this was the decision of WWE, and he didn't travel to SmackDown without knowing that indeed it was going to be The Rock facing Roman Reigns at WrestleMania and not himself. Now, talent, including The Rock, had all been booked for the February 8th press conference in Las Vegas by that time, though The Rock's involvement wasn't clear to most other people. Naturally, Fightful reportedly asked if this move was done in order to take attention or publicity away from the WWE, Vince McMahon and John Laurinaitis scandal and the lawsuits that are currently ongoing. Sources in the know claim that The Rock was actually pushing for this before even the lawsuit broke, but admitted that it couldn't have hurt the process to get any mainstream publicity that was not associated with the ongoing scandals. Now, it's worth noting that The Rock and Ari Emanuel have had a long-standing relationship, and The Rock is the biggest star tied to the Endeavor brand. Fightful had heard, as of 3 weeks ago, there was a talent element being pitched for The Rock's role with TKO, as both sides wanted to maximize the huge deal they made around the board position, licensing fees, and the rights of The Rock name, of course, which reverted back to Dwayne Johnson. Now, for those wondering, the early word is that The Rock will attempt to work a full-length match, but there's no word on if he'd be open to continuing to wrestle afterwards. There were some concerns about him working a WrestleMania main event length match after his recent appearances on Raw and SmackDown, in which he was breathing quite heavily after doing just some very limited physicality, for instance, when he did the People's Elbow on Jinder Mahal on the Day 1 edition of Monday Night Raw. Now, all parties involved will be at the Las Vegas media press conference on Thursday, and certainly it's going to be very interesting to see what happens there. It is expected that's when we're going to get the official announcement that it will be The Rock versus Roman Reigns in the main event of WrestleMania 40 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Now, what about the reactions within WWE? Well, this is where it gets very, very interesting, certainly. Now, Fightful say, for the sake of transparency, they reached out to over 36 contacts within WWE across a variety of different departments. None that got back to them even played devil's advocate for the decision to run The Rock versus Roman Reigns as opposed to Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. And the decision, reportedly, according to Sean Ross Sapp, was universally panned from those they spoke to within the company. Quote, "I've known Dwayne a long time," one wrestler told Fightful. Not only did the look on Cody's face tell a story, the look on Dwayne's face told a story. I think in that moment he knew that this decision wasn't going to work out quite the way that he had imagined it. He was experiencing the same thing that he and Roman Reigns experienced in Philadelphia, referring to when Roman Reigns won the Royal Rumble in Philadelphia back in 2015, and Reigns was booed out the building, despite The Rock coming out to even the playing field and The Rock being booed out the building as well. He was being co-signed for something the vast majority didn't want, end quote. Everyone that Fightful heard back from understood the business implications of running the match, but believed it wasn't a good decision for long-term WWE business. Quote, "The Rock versus Roman made sense several years ago where we were running back Roman and Lesnar repeatedly. It could have made sense this year had Cody won the title last year. This is one of the few years it doesn't make sense in any capacity," one former world champion told Fightful. A source in creative said that many on the team were deflated and felt like a decision they'd hear about being made under the previous regime at the expense of helping cultivate new crossover talent. Another source that had worked with The Rock was much more stern, saying, quote, "The Rock eroded his trust with the comic and superhero community, with the film community, maybe with the football community, and might do it with one he almost has universal goodwill with. He's not a bad guy, don't mistake that or get me wrong. He's a great guy. However, bad timing and overexposure and fatigue will make fools of us all. You have to know when to take a back seat," end quote. Now, as I mentioned in a video we did earlier today, PW Insider was told that the move was not done to politic Cody out of his main event with malice, and one top talent sent Fightful a screenshot and said, quote, "I truly believe that The Rock wasn't being malicious. Not being malicious with intent and actions not having malicious repercussions aren't exclusive," which is certainly an interesting quote there. Another longtime member of the creative team said, quote, "There have been numerous meetings, pitches and attempts to get The Rock in in on this match, or really any match, for years, and it never happened. One year, the excuse was that the story doesn't make any sense. Not only does it make less sense than ever right now, it's undermining one of the biggest stories we've ever told and turning off a lot of our fans, end quote. It continues by saying the Rock's family passed the McMahon family in the past week as far as power dynamic in pro wrestling, and it's probably not going to change anytime soon, said one person who has worked with all of the parties involved numerous times, suggesting now that the Rock's family, the Anoa'i family, is now more powerful and stronger than the McMahon family, which is certainly a massive shift when it comes to the power in professional wrestling, particularly WWE. Now, as I mentioned, we are going to be getting seemingly an announcement regarding this match between Roman Reigns and The Rock at WrestleMania this coming Thursday, because there will be a huge WWE press conference to announce some of the big matches taking place at WrestleMania 40. In the main event of SmackDown in Birmingham, Alabama last night, it appeared as though Cody Rhodes was going to make it official that he was going to challenge Roman Reigns for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship at WrestleMania for a second year in a row. Well, Cody made it clear he was still coming after Roman's championship, and he still wants to win the championship. He's not going to do that at WrestleMania. That led to The Rock making the aforementioned surprise appearance. The Rock shook Cody's hand, hugged Cody, and Cody left the ring. Some pointed out you could even see Cody's heart breaking on the screen. That led to The Rock having a stare down with his cousin Roman Reigns. Now, it must be stressed, it was never officially announced that Roman Reigns would face The Rock at WrestleMania 40 in Philadelphia, but that was certainly implied. It has been reported that WWE, as I mentioned, originally planned on doing Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes, but now plans indeed have changed. What we do know, as of right now, is that WWE is looking to have a huge WrestleMania 40 kickoff press conference this coming Thursday, February 8th in Las Vegas. Why Las Vegas? Well, it's probably because the NFL Super Bowl will be on Sunday, February 11th in Las Vegas, so there's a lot of sports media around anywhere. They can get a lot of mainstream coverage of this. As I mentioned, the full press release was as followed regarding this. It said, quote, WWE, part of TKO Group Holdings, today announced that Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Roman Reigns will face off at an open to the public fan and media event, the WrestleMania 40 kickoff live from the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas this Thursday, February 8th at 4 p.m. Pacific. Doors open at 2:30 p.m. This is a non-ticketed event delivered by Pizza Hut, is all free for all to attend. Fans and media will hear from both The Rock and Roman Reigns, as well as WWE Chief Content Officer Paul Triple H Levesque. On-site interview opportunities for the media immediately will follow the event with both participants, Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, Bianca Belair, and Rhea Ripley. Building on the anticipation for the already record-breaking WrestleMania 40, Thursday's event will be hosted by Monday Night Raw commentators Michael Cole and Pat McAfee and stream live on WWE social and digital channels as well as Peacock. WrestleMania 40 takes place across 2 nights on Saturday, April 6th and Sunday, April 7th at 7 p.m. live from Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia and stream live on Peacock in the United States. So, what are your thoughts on the latest developments, the latest news coming out of this situation, not only when it comes to The Rock's power within WWE and TKO, but the possibility that not only was he pushing for this match to happen, but in addition to that, reportedly, he possibly has been pushing to win the match, be the first person to pin Roman Reigns in a singles match since all the way back in December 2019. Could this even mean that The Rock is pitching to end Roman Reigns' undisputed WWE Universal Championship reign, a championship he has held since 2020? Is that possible at all? Let me know your thoughts and reactions, as always, in the comment section below. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon.
Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.